Yep, it's preview time. I want to start off though by saying something that I saw today on the video I did about the whole Matthews 50 and 50 thing. I like to get out ahead of these things, like with Ovechkin 2 years ago, Pasternak a year ago. Yesterday, I did a video on the Florida Panthers, right? The day before, I did a video on the Nashville Predators. Now, both teams have fans on this channel. They absolutely do. But in terms of clicks, you're going to get towards the down end of the clicks. So I try to cover every team, but I've noticed that if I cover Toronto, and especially if I cover Austin Matthews, immediately people will say, he just did this for clicks. This is all for clicks. Now, last I saw, of the last 10 videos that I've posted, the Matthews video is 6th out of 10 in performance. So it really doesn't generate that much interest. It really doesn't generate that many clicks. It is a false analogy. Usually when I'm posting videos, the ones that get the most attention, if I talk about the Canucks, those ones will, because people know that I'm a Canucks fan, and I think there are more Canuck fans that are subscribed to the channel than any other fan base. And if I talk about Boston, because especially if they're not doing well, people love to see me cover Boston's misery. So I just wanted to get that out of the way in this video, because the preview videos are proof that I don't do this for clickbait or for clicks. The previews are generally the least viewed videos every single day, and I don't pitch them out and decide to do something else. Like, I could do a list video every morning, and that would do way better than previews. I'd get thousands more hits every single day on those. But there are longtime subscribers to this channel who rely on previews and love to do the guessing on who's going to win every night, and I won't take that away from them. So all I've done this year is streamline the process, and let's jump into it. So we have hockey all day on Saturday. All day, starting at 9:30 in the morning my time, 12:30 Eastern, where we have Buffalo in against New Jersey. The season series is tied at 1, and of course the last time these teams played each other, we had an outbreak, so let's not repeat that this time, shall we? Thank you very much. Buffalo's now 4-7-2, and they should be angry because before the outbreak they were starting to play better. And New Jersey is playing great since coming out of it. They're 6-3-2. So I wanted to focus on defensemen on this preview. Dahlin, a goal and 3 assists. You get the feeling the offense is coming from him. Montour with 2 assists. We'll see if he's still a Sabre next year or not. The Sabres, if they continue down this path, you have to think they'll be selling players off. They'll be moving players around. Maybe Montour is one of the ones that goes. On the New Jersey side, Ty Smith, 2 goals, 6 assists. Great rookie season for him. Will Butcher, this is how you get to stay in the lineup when you finally get that chance. He's played 2 games, 1 goal, 1 assist. I'm not saying he stays in the lineup, but at the very least, he's shown he should get another chance. And if they put him on the market, that perks up a team's interest in him, seeing that he's putting up points. At the same time, the New York Rangers and the Washington Capitals will be playing. New York won the only meeting between these two. The Rangers are 5-7-3. Washington's 8-4-3. Now, again, Blue Liners, Adam Fox has been fantastic for the Rangers, a goal and 6 assists. Ranger fans will tell you this unsolicited, that Fox is fantastic. You could ask them how Shesterkin's doing, and they'll say, forget him, I want to talk to you about Adam Fox. Ryan Lindgren with 3 assists, defensive defenseman, and it shows in the point totals. On the Washington side, Schultz, 2 goals and 6 assists. His points totals have been pretty respectable considering the rough season he had in Pittsburgh last year. Zdeno Chara, 2 goals and 3 assists, showing maybe he's not done. Maybe he comes back again next year. And then we have a 2.5-hour break until the game in Lake Tahoe. So it'll kind of have its own time slot. So it starts at 3 o'clock Eastern. It's the 10-3-1 Vegas Golden Knights in against the 8-4-1. For tomorrow, they're the Quebec Nordiques. Belmar actually thought they were going to play on the lake. The Detroit announcers were talking about that tonight. Mickey Redmond laughed pretty good about it. And then he was such a nice guy about it that he's like, but I'm sure he's not the only one that would have thought that. So they're not actually playing on the lake, which apparently Belmar wasn't happy about. But the way that they've promoted this, you might kind of think that they were. So I don't really blame them. But yeah, these teams are 1-1 against each other. Shea Theodore on the blue line, 3 goals and 8 assists. He's back. He's been fantastic. Martinez, 8 assists. He adds another dimension to that blue line for Vegas and gets overlooked because of guys like Pietrangelo and Theodore. On the Colorado side, Byram is proving that he can take more and more ice time. As his years going along, he's getting more and more responsibility, in part due to injuries, but also because he's playing pretty well. 2 assists so far for Byram. And Makar. 1 goal, 11 assists for Cale Makar. Can't wait to see him at Lake Tahoe, and this is going to be a great game. And then 2 hours after that, Florida's against Detroit. So there isn't really a break for me tomorrow. This is why I'm already making up boards, the Nino Niederreiter board for tomorrow. All that clickbait, Nino Niederreiter video. Hey, that's going to generate at least 2,000 views. But that's not the point. I want to talk about Nino Niederreiter tomorrow. It's an interesting story, to me anyways. So at 5 o'clock Eastern, Florida's in against Detroit. Nino's not anywhere on the board other than here. And he's not mentioned on the board because he's not a defenseman. So the 11-2-2 Florida Panthers, who destroyed the Detroit Red Wings, who are now 4-12-3. At least it gets over earlier in the day for Detroit. Florida's now 4-1 against Detroit. I don't expect tomorrow to be much better. I think Florida wants to make a statement in this series, and I feel bad for Detroit. Ekblad, 5 goals and 5 assists now. He is off to the best start in his career, being overshadowed by other teammates. And Weegar, who is known for his defense, a goal and 6 assists so far is not too shabby. On the Detroit side, Hronik is very good, 9 assists, no goals yet. Stetcher, keeping pucks out of his net as much as he can, 4 assists for him so far for Detroit. And then 2 hours later, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games starting. I don't know when I'm going to get to review these 2 games or this one, or I'm not sure. I'm going to try to figure this out. It has to be before all these games start, or I'm just hosed. So at 7 o'clock Eastern, we've got the 8-5-3 New York Islanders in against the 8-6-1 Pittsburgh Penguins. Pittsburgh's 2-1 against the Islanders this year. Entertaining games. And last game, Pittsburgh kind of played an Islanders game and beat them at their own game. So we'll see how it works in this one. Leddy, a goal and 8 assists. His points total pretty good this year. And Pulock, the most prominent defenseman for the New York Islanders, 6 assists so far. On the Pittsburgh side, Marino's starting to get the offense going. He has 2 assists. He was the 3rd assist on a goal in the last game as well. There's no such thing as a 3rd assist, but he was the 3rd guy to pass it to the secondary assist guy. And it was a nice pass. So Letang with 7 assists as well. One of them's going to get a goal at some point. I think Marino's going to get a goal soon. He has to. And then also at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, Nashville desperately needs a victory. They are 6-10. Columbus is 8-6-4. Nashville's 2-1 in this series so far. Ellis, 2 goals and 5 assists for Ryan Ellis so far on the blue line. Yossi, 2 goals and 6 assists. I think Ellis has outplayed Yossi so far this year. You can let me know in the comment section below if you agree with that, but I think he has. Jones, 1 goal, 8 assists. He's bounced back from a slow start. And Harrington's only played 4 games. He's put up a goal and an assist, 2 points. Like I said with Butcher, when you get your chance in the lineup, prove that you should stay in it. Make the coach make that difficult decision. San Jose will get their rematch against St. Louis. St. Louis is 2-0-1 against San Jose so far this year. San Jose 6-7-2. St. Louis is 10-5-2. Burns, 3 goals, 4 assists on the blue line. And Milosh, again, a defenseman, gets into 3 games, 1 assist. He's trying to prove, hey, I belong in the lineup. I'm going to take advantage of getting a chance. Milosh was one, too, that the year before he was drafted, there was a lot of hype about him, and then it just stopped. Now, Vince Dunn, 3 goals, 3 assists on the blue line for St. Louis. Torrey Krug, 1 goal, 9 assists. And, of course, the god with the mustache, Justin Falk, is not on the board. But the mustache, I need just like a mustache magnet I can just put on the board, because that you can set your watch to that. Yeah, so pretty good defense for St. Louis, because that's what they have every year. Every year their defense is excellent. 7 o'clock Eastern, Toronto and Montreal. One of many meetings between these teams this year. 13-3-2 for Toronto. 9-4-2 for Montreal, who've had a week off. Will they be rusty? Will they be ready? What's going to happen? Toronto's won 2 of the 3 matchups so far this year. Hall is off to a very good start on their blue line, a goal and 6 assists. And Muzzin is putting up a ton of points lately, a goal and 11 assists. We'll see how long that goes for. Weber on the Montreal side, 2 goals and 5 assists. And I don't think Weber's been at his best. But because of Petrie and because Romanov's been pretty excellent, 1 goal, 2 assists, or Romanov, as I'm suddenly hearing it being pronounced. Depends on which announcers, but all of a sudden I'm hearing Romanov, and I'm like, wait, it's been Romanov for years. Now it's Romanov? Okay. So if I start calling him Romanov, it's because I've heard it on multiple different broadcasts being pronounced that way. But yeah, Montreal looking to take out Toronto. And this is a thing from that video today. Matthews hasn't scored a goal in 3 meetings yet with Montreal. If he wants to stay on this torrid pace, we'll see how he does tomorrow night against the Habs. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific as well. The LA Kings against the Anaheim, against the Arizona Coyotes, not the Anaheim Coyotes. That's not a thing. Arizona's 7-6-3. LA is 6-6-3. LA did win the first matchup. We'll see how it goes in this one. Of course, it was a shootout, so it was close. Bjornfot with 3 games, 1 assist. Some physicality from Bjornfot in the last game, notable. And Doughty, 4 goals and 9 assists. 13 points for Drew Doughty. He's kind of back. Jacob Chychrun, 3 goals, 8 assists. I can't say enough good things about Chychrun on the Arizona blue line. He's fantastic. And OEL, in 6 games so far this year, he has 4 assists. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. Tampa Bay playing Carolina because one of the postponed games, of course, is Chicago and Carolina. Chicago, you got to get out. Tampa Bay's coming in because Tampa Bay's got way too many games postponed. So Tampa Bay 10-3-1. Carolina's 11-3-1. Carolina's won the only meeting between these teams this year. This is going to be fantastic. The Tampa, Carolina, Florida, that trio at the top, that's just going to be awesome to see how that pans out from here. Hedman, 3 goals, 12 assists, is still the best defenseman in the league, in my opinion. Sergachev, with 11 assists, is giving him a run for his money on his own team. On the Carolina side, Jacob Slavin, the rock on the blue line, a goal and 4 assists. Jake Gardiner is up to 7 assists. Feels like he's been playing pretty well lately for Carolina as well. Kind of a forgotten guy, of course. Shunned out of Toronto, ends up in Carolina. He's actually had a half-decent season after what was a rough season for him last year in Carolina. Then we go to 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. So again, 2 hours after all of these games get started, we then get Minnesota, and that's where Anaheim is, not down here. Minnesota's 7-6. They've won 2 out of 3 against Anaheim, who are 6-8-3. Can't score, couldn't put the puck in the ocean. Tomorrow, they'll get another chance. If only they were playing on a lake. Maybe they could put the puck in the lake. Suter, 6 assists for him so far. No goals for him. It's coming. And Spurgeon with 2 assists. One of them, they're going to get goals. They have to. Because Minnesota's blue line's pretty good. They'll get their share of goals. And meanwhile, Fowler, a goal and 4 assists for Anaheim. And I put Hakanpää up there. He doesn't have a point yet. He was prominent in the last game. I'm telling you, Hakanpää, it's going to happen. He's going to get a point. If he gets a point tomorrow, you're welcome. But if you add him to your fantasy league, you're going to lose because he has 0 points so far this year. Don't do it. Then at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, the now 8-8-1 Calgary Flames are playing the 11-8 Edmonton Oilers. And now we've got a split of 1-1. And it wasn't the physical, fighty kind of matchup you might have expected between these teams tonight. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It's a very defensively minded Western-looking game tonight between these two. Giordano, 2 goals and 7 assists. I think he's started to make that descent in terms of his ice time, as now Anderson's making his way up. It looks like Anderson's going to be the anchor on that blue line, and Hannafin's not too bad himself. He has 3 assists so far this year. The offense isn't there, but when you're playing as well defensively with Tanev as he has been, it doesn't really matter. On the Edmonton side, Tyson Barrie now with 3 goals and 12 assists. It's just insane how many points he's putting up. And Nurse, 6 goals and 8 assists. Suddenly, people are coming around to what I've said for years. Darnell Nurse is a pretty good defenseman. And again, 2 games postponed. Chicago, Carolina, Tampa Bay, and Dallas. So Tampa Bay and Carolina are playing each other. So it's weird. One, of course, the Dallas one is weather-related. And so they decided to put Tampa and Carolina and delay the other one for later. It's weather-related that we have 2 games postponed. Nothing to do with the COVID shutdown. And that's good news right now. Right? Okay. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happen upon this video, and enjoy all the hockey all day tomorrow. I will watch as much of this as I humanly can and try to get reviews in where I can, when I can during the day, so I'm not doing a review of all 12 games at once at night. Because if you watch this at 12:30 Eastern, you're not going to want to wait up until about 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern to find out my review of this. It's just not a good idea. All right. Thanks again for all your support. Hit like and subscribe. I will talk to you again soon.